What do I have to do to get rewarded? That's what he's thinking. And that is it. Good boy. Yeah. Hi, Ethan here with Standing Stone Kennels, and we are back with Sprig. And today we have what I know a lot of y'all have been waiting for, another giveaway video. Now, we are going to be giving away one of these awesome Kuranda dog beds. This one specifically has a sweet little slip cover on it that goes right over top of their standard PVC bed. Has a little pad, make it more comfortable. These are the ones that we use in our house, and Kuranda as a whole has a lot of great options and makes a really great product. So they are giving away via us a Kuranda bed of your choice. So you get to pick size, style, whatever's going to best fit you and your dog. Now, the important part is how you're going to win this. We need you to like or follow our page, like and follow Kuranda's page. They're the ones that are helping give this away, so give them the shout out. And then share the video, share this live video as it's playing to your friends who also want the opportunity to win. And then lastly, just comment that you're here, give us a shout out and tell us how much you love this cute little puppy Sprig. Now, we are going to move right into his training today, which is why we're using this bed. We're going to teach him to kennel on cue. We use kennel. A lot of people use different things like place or bed or whatever. We found that using less cues is better, and kennel is the cue that we use for asking the dogs to go anywhere. So onto the bed, into the crate, we'll show you that later. We use kennel for that. And then when he gets big enough, loading into the truck, also kennel, any place we want him to go. So Sprig here is 10 weeks old, and we're starting to work on his kennel training. Now, we're going to start this session off by showing a little recap of what he did last time and what we've been working on between last time and now to show you that progress, and then we'll move right into teaching him a new behavior. Now, you're going to see this again. We give puppies, just like him, treats, dog bones, chew bones on the bed. So if we get out a bone, we bring it over, we set it on the bed, and we give it to them there. If they pick it up and run off, we move them back. And all that does is imprints from an early stage that this is a good place, and it makes this whole process easier. Now, he doesn't know how to go onto the bed on cue, but that's what we're going to show you today. So to get started, the recap. We have been working on here. Good boy. And that's what the target comes in and touches our hand. Here. Good. Making sure that he's touching our hand every time. Good. Now, I'm going to draw attention to this really quick. This little bouncing, jumping stuff that's happening because he's excited about getting the reward, willing and ready to work for us. We're going to show you how we're going to work through that because ultimately I've noticed that it's becoming a pattern, and it's a pattern that I don't want him to continue. When he comes in and does something right, good boy, I get the food out and he's jumping for it. Now, we've already marked and told him that that was good, so he knows he did it right. We're just going to wait until he's no longer jumping to actually give him the food. So again, looks like this. Good boy. A little bit of movement kind of kept him from jumping, but we saw this as a pattern, and you as dog trainers need to recognize patterns with your puppies. If it's something you don't want, figure out a way to get it to stop. So the other thing that we worked on was sit. Good boy. Again, jumping in anticipation of that reward. All I did was held it for a second and then gave it to him while he was sitting properly. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Yeah. You see that one was much better. Good. We're going to do one more. Now, last time also we talked about variable reinforcement. I'm going to show you a little bit of what that looks like. He knows a couple different cues now, so we can start to incorporate doing multiple in a session as well as variable reinforcement, which means to only reward him. The food reward only comes on a variable schedule as opposed to a every single time schedule. Now, the important thing is every dog is going to be different. If you start doing every other and then move to he only gets a food reward after he does 5 or 6 reps, and you start to see him lose focus or lack of desire to continue to pay attention, you're adding too much distance in between your rewards, and we have to shorten that up. To start off with, it's every time, and then we usually move to a do 2 or 3 tricks or behaviors and then get rewarded, but keep it changing all the time, and that's going to help to build a more consistent response to what we're asking. So variable reinforcement would look like this. Here, good boy, sit, good boy, here, good. And then comes the treat. So we did 3 things, all 3 were marked, and then he was rewarded. Good job. Now, we're going to start working with him. Again, this hand is super, super powerful for these things. We can lead him onto the bed and mark that. And then we're going to have to give him that basically opportunity to think and figure out what he's getting rewarded for now. And then once he gets good at that, we can introduce a cue. So let's see how far we can get today. Start off with, we're going to pull him up this direction and mark as soon as he gets on the bed. Good. All we're doing right now, we can also use body language or our movement itself for him to move with us. Once we get up close to the bed, if he decides to get on, we can reward him. If we struggle a little bit with him figuring out, we can actually mark stages where he puts a paw on or stands halfway on and then grow with that as we go. It's all about shaping what we're looking for. Now, we taught him sit. He's definitely figured that one out. Good. So the longer that he sits, sometimes we've started to incorporate that into our jackpots at the end of training sessions. This is again showing desire to work. He knows last time I got rewarded for this. Good boy. But we just weighed him out. Now, you should see, like most progressions with clicker training and positive reinforcement, that amount of time that it took him to try something else should get less and less, and he'll work his way onto the bed faster. Good job. It all comes down to, again, well-bred puppies are easier to train. And this guy's definitely that. Good boy. You see how he's starting to process things. You saw him kind of start, maybe if I, jump on the bed, I can get rewarded. Good. Yeah, that's a good boy. Good boy. Good job. Me helping with movement got him to move right on there. We'll see if we can start to stand further and further from the bed. What do I have to do to get rewarded? That's what he's thinking. And that is it. Good boy. Yeah. Okay. Okay, come on. Lead him off. Good job. And then see if we can move further away here. Making very, very, very minor steps. We're just a couple inches further this time. Good job. Currently, I'm giving him nothing. I want him to be able to process and think, how do I get rewarded? Now, if your dog is struggling with this, when you try it and they don't figure it out this fast, you can spend a little bit more time leading them on. But this guy's smart. Super, super smart. And he wants to please us all the time. So he is using that brain to figure out what we can do to get rewarded. Good boy. Now, as he gets more consistent with this, we start to introduce a cue. I don't think we're quite there yet, but we're getting close. Come on. Good job. We're going to just hold that until he's almost onto the bed. Kennel. Good. That one was kind of an automatic. I knew he was headed there, so we threw the cue in there. we wouldn't want him to be standing here. Okay, come on. Lead him off. Good job. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, good boy. Okay, okay. We're going to work on staying later. Good. Good. We wouldn't want to say from here, kennel, because he doesn't understand what that means. But if he's headed that direction, we can start to overlay it. I'm not going to move toward the bed. I'm just going to move my feet to help him make some kind of movement. See if we can get him to stand up. Kennel. Good boy. Good. We put a lot of emphasis on his sitting. It's going to be an important part of what he's going to be doing as he gets older. Good. Get his feet moving again. That's all we want to do. Good boy. Yeah. You can see in that one, I didn't really walk toward the bed. I just got him to move. And then him moving allowed him to try and think again, what do I need to do to get rewarded? A little bit of movement toward the bed this time. He's looking at it. So I'll try this one, see if I can get it. Now, this is why it's important to, when you're trying to teach something new, to only be working on one thing at a time. Don't mix in the rewards for sits or recall or anything else at this point. This is going to help him to figure out faster. We'll get him to move his feet. So much focus. Now, it would be very easy to throw our hand down there and lead him on. And we might have to do that here in just a second. Let's try again. Good boy. You can see a lot's processing. And we want to just mark every time it goes back. No eye contact. We don't want him to be focusing on us right now. Come on. Move his feet. What we may have to do is adapt this just a little bit. Poorly timed kibble drop. That was my fault. That may slow us down just a little bit. Good boy. That's good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good job. He's got a lot of focus for us. And even though he's been rewarded a few times, his cooperation kind of overtakes. Come on. Good. So we're going to do this. We're going to help him move, get a few reps, and then it looks like we are losing just a little bit of focus in this session because he's not 100% sure. So we're going to do a few more. Come on. Help him off. Yeah, good. We'll do a few more reps to make it a little bit easier for him just with this hand movement. Come on. Stop and itch. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. Come on. This is sitting. I've got that one down. Let's move this just a little bit. Normally we're going to put, when we start working on staying on the dog bed, we're going to put it up tight against the wall. We're going to put it up tight against the wall so that they have less escape points. But early on, if we give him more access points, it may make this a little bit easier for him. It's important to be able to recognize and try and adapt your session to help your puppy. If what you're doing isn't working 100%, you can change it up a little bit and help them out. Good. Good boy. We'll go back one more time here. Good. Now we're going to do his Jackpot. So to explain this, he's starting to get an understanding that he can get rewarded for getting on the dog bed. I feel like we're losing a little bit of focus. We're losing a little bit of the progress being made, and we need to cut this one shorter. Now, his next session is going to look exactly like this, and we're going to hopefully be able to continue to progress. But once he gets consistent about going onto the bed, then we'll introduce the cue just like the others. But we will continue to work on this just like we are now. Yeah. It says, how do I get this food? But ultimately, they're not going to learn everything perfectly in one session. And ignoring this is the best thing that we can do. Or setting him up for a situation where he doesn't have the ability to do that, like picking him up, holding him while I have to talk and explain, but not saying, hey, quit, stop barking. That just puts a lot of emphasis on the fact that he is barking and he's getting my attention, which is his goal. So last thing we're going to do is work on him sitting and staying for his bowl of food. I'll show you how we've started to incorporate that and where he's at. And then if you guys have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure that you are liking us on Facebook, following us on Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, and hit that little bell for notifications so you don't miss any of his upcoming videos. We're going to continue this process with him over the next few months, and we want to share all of that with you guys. So to finish this session, his Jackpot for sitting. Sit. Good. I'm going to hold that click. We're going to try and work this to the ground. It's a slight pick back up if he moves. And we're going to figure out how close we can get. Good. That is a really good start with that. We will continue to work. Every session ends this way, and we'll get closer and closer to the ground, just with that very subtle, if he moves, picking the bowl back up, and then trying to slowly move it closer to the ground. So thanks guys for watching, and we will see you next time.